Just one more fight before I fall. I stand so tall. All this blood and all this pain, I'll embrace it all. Nobody can break me down, no. Nobody can break me down. The sky shining under fire and lightning. On a burning, never fading, never rising. And I've been tempered in flame, but I'll carve out my name.
Sukwigar Vode on, and hello friends, welcome back to the channel. GungHoGuns here, repping Mando, still playing SWTOR, and if I may say so, looking amazing as always, and the mustache is still undefeated, baby. Anyway, today in SWTOR, I got something simple but very spicy for you, my friends. My easy peasy Guardian Focus build for PvE. This is a direct damage one. You can also use this in PvP with a few tweaks here and there, but in operations for PvE, this thing will crank out 30K DPS easy mode. And if you time it correctly, probably even 34, 35K. I've been playing Guardian or Juggernaut, if you will, now for over a decade, and honestly, it's still one of my favorites. It's straightforward, it's super strong, it's super powerful, and if you run it this way, you can focus on mechanics and have just amazing fun. I promise one more quick promo before we dive in. This is about my guild Mando. Let's kick it. Looking for like-minded lunatics to play SWTOR with? Then why not join the Mando community? We're on the Starforge server, and we've been around since the Star Wars Galaxy days. Back when blasters overheated and the cantina was the real endgame. We run everything: PvE, operation, dungeons, weekly world bosses, PvP, duels, bounties, you name it. If it explodes, we're probably already there. So if you want a crew that actually plays and isn't just standing around on fleet courting Revan, then join Mando. Discord is in the bio. Strap in, is going to get loud. All right, thank you guys very much for being here. I very much appreciate you. Again, really quick, this is just how I play this class, and I do the same thing on Juggernaut as well. I have the similar rotation, just, you know, mirror classes or mirror abilities, if you will. For me, this just makes a lot of sense. It's 30 plus K, I get 31, 32 or more. On top of that, just because it's so easy to do, I'm able to focus more on the mechanics of the fight and things like that. So anyway, going in mind, this is just how I play. There's many different ways that other people play it. Keep that in mind. Anyway, let's go on with the build, and we'll start off with the two implants here. The Champion Precision package and the Fearless Victor package, in my opinion, are the two best in slot for you. They just are. I've tried the other ones. By far, these are the ones that will net you the most damage when used together. Again, by far, so I've been using them since they came out. For the tactical, I use Cauterized Coronary. It's still by far best in slot. Like I said, I've tried every other tactical. I try to push it up. This is just, even though it is technically for a Fury Marauder, it's been working forever on the Juggernauts and you know, this build in particular. So we've all been using it for many years now. So again, get you one of these and don't even worry about it after that. Stat wise, now really quick, just so you guys know, I build for NIM, for master mode rating, where the guild perks do not apply. That's how I build all my classes. So you don't need this much alacrity, FYI. If you're only planning to run story mode or veteran mode, keep in mind with your zeal perk, you can only, I believe it's like 1154 is what you need. So again, keep that in mind. But for me, I build compared to when you're running NIM. So these are my stats right here. Feel free to copy them. 10% as you see right here, as always. And then everything else into critical after reaching that alacrity threshold. All right, and this is my ability tree. I'm not going to go into all of it. I'm just going to pinpoint two abilities that you really need to watch out for. Going on level 43, this whole build is built on focus meditation. This is how, and you'll see my rotation, how I'm able to do 3-4 moves, you know, to back to back. You just amazing high damage. This is what you need. However, there's a lot of people that play it with critical conditions. I've played it with this as well. This one's not not bad either. Like all three are honestly decent. It's just this is with focus meditation is how I prefer to play it. But again, you know, you can always change up and try both ways. The next one is 68. Now in PvE, especially when you know you need some gap closers, I prefer Blade Blitz myself. However, if the boss has like an AoE mechanic where he drops it on the ground, you can use Saber Reflect. What you do then is you stand in that puddle of fire or whatever and reflect, and all that damage will go back on it. You can push an extra 1,000 or 2,000 damage that way. Is that the best way to do it? No. Is it cheating? Depends on where you're standing, right? To give you an example, like the KP, Kagura's Palace. Remember the last boss that you fight on there? He like spits that little black fire on the ground. If you pop your reflect, go stand in it, you'll gain like 2-3k more damage. Anyway, up to you if you want to use it. I personally prefer Blade Blitz, but again, both options are very, very good. All right, let's talk about the rotation now. And again, I've broken it down into 3 steps for you. We're going to do step 1, step 2, step 3, and then go back to step 1 to complete the rotation and keep going for as long as you want. This rotation is perfectly timed. And again, I've been using this for, I don't even know how many years now. It's been a very long time. So I'm not going to show you on my toolbar because that would just be too crazy. So I've actually made some bars for you guys just so it's easier to follow. And I'm going to click just so, again, it's a little easier for you to follow, and I'll go slowly just so you guys can understand what I'm doing. So really quick, the thing to understand, number one, is that every single one of these abilities is on the go. It's not channeled, meaning you don't have to stand still for it. It's really good in PvP and PvE as well because you don't have to stand still. You can keep moving and pumping out damage. But let's go over the rotation really quick. So the number one thing that is the gap closer force leap. Here's what you need to understand about force leap. In normal boss fights, you do it one time and you never do it again. Because to use force leap, as you see, the range is 10 meters to 30 meters, meaning you have to be 10 meters away from the boss at least, but not over 30. What you're going to do is after you first force leap into him, after that, we are going to go with Zealous Leap, which one is like the opposite of that one. It's still like a gap closer, but it's that 1 to 10 meters, okay? And you have to jump. You have to jump to the boss a few times in every rotation. The reason for that is every time you jump, your number one hitting ability, which is your Focus Burst, this does guaranteed crit damage after your jump. So that's why we jump and we incorporate it all together, okay? With me so far? Anyway, let's go into the rotation so you guys can actually see what's happening here. So what we're going to do is we're going to force leap into force exhaustion, which is going to give us a free, no cost on force focus burst. After that, we're going to use combat focus. Remember that one ability we were talking about in the tree? This activates it, meaning the next 3 force abilities are going to be free force abilities. We're going to use concentrated slice into a zealous leap, into a concentrated slice. It looks something like this. So here we go. 1, 2, 1 concentrated slice, focus leap, or zealous leap into another concentrated slice. That is the first rotation, just like so. Now, technically, when you do combat focus, and I wanted you to see that, when you do combat focus, you can actually do 3 concentrated slice back to back to back. However, if you put a zealous leap, because you need it for the second part of the rotation anyway, if you put it right here and then finish off with a concentrated slice one more time, the in-between here, that 2 GCDs and the one over here that you would get, that dot that you get from your tactical that applies with concentrated slice carries over. So you get a little bit more damage. Is it huge? No, but again, it's the proper way to play it. So you definitely want to do it this way. Let's do it one more time and I'll go a little bit faster so you guys can see how it actually looks like when you actually do it in real time. So it would be something like this. And again, I'm clicking for you guys to follow. And here's the zealous sleep, and here's the second. And now notice the dot damage right here. See that dot coming off? That's because we timed it with this one right here. Very important. So that was step 1. Now let's bring up step 2. Let me see if I can put it right over here. Just like so. There we go. So step 2 is we are going to, right after our Zealous Sleep Concentrated Slice, we're going to go into Sundering Strike, into Focus Burst, into another Concentrated Slice. Okay? Easy peasy, right? Let's go see how that looks like when you add it all together. So, one more time. We're going to get out of that 12-meter range or 10-meter range. Focus Sleep or Jump, Burst. Get our 2 slices up. One more time. And then we just move into this one. And just like so, as you see, the damage is going crazy, right? So, again, part 2, Sundering Strike, Burst, Concentrated Slice. You would carry on that dot damage one more time. And then finally, step number 3 is we are right after we finish our second step with Concentrated Slice, we are going to jump into our Zealous Sleep. We're going to do Zealous Sleep into Blade Storm and into Repose, okay? Very important. You do not get to do Dispatch because so you need to, the opponent needs to be 30 or health or below, okay? Here's the rule with this, by the way. So step 3, again, one more time, is Zealous Sleep, Blade Storm into Repose, right? Now, after the boss or enemy goes below 30% HP, you want to replace your Repose with Dispatch, meaning that you need 3 moves here. You're going to remove Repose from your rotation after or below 30%, and you're going to use Dispatch in its place. And it's going to be the same thing. As soon as you're done with Dispatch, you're going to move back over to Force, or not Force Sleep, I'm sorry, to Force Exhaustion. Because remember, we don't use Force Sleep after the first time. So one more time to show you guys how it works, and then we will go from there. I'm going to do part 1, part 2, and then part 3, and I'll go a little bit slowly so you guys can follow. So for part 1, again, we're going to get out of that 10-meter range. So 1 ability, here is part 1 with the burst. We're going to get our 2 slices in right here. We're going to Zealous Sleep one more time, get the Concentrated Slice. Now step 2, Sundering, Burst, Slice. Part 3, Leap, Storm, Repose. And then we start off back to number 1, just like so. And then, all right, so really quick, guys, I'm actually going to now do a full rotation showcase to see how this works. I would do a 10 million HP one, but it's really not necessary. I'll do the 2 million just so it's a little faster, so we're not sitting here for 5-6 minutes. But again, 2 million, I'll keep up the same amount of damage, if not more, so you guys can see how this actually works. That way I don't have to crop the video or anything. Anyway, here I'm going to apply all the stuff on there, as you see right here. And then I'm not going to click. So I should be pressing these buttons to go faster, but I'm actually going to click just so you guys can follow along. So you guys can see that I'm not doing anything else on the bottom. I'm actually just following the rotation that I give you so you guys can see the full amount of damage it does. With that said, let's go ahead and get started here. I forgot to turn orbs on so you guys can see the full damage. Let's do it correctly this time. So I have the orbs on the right side of the screen, as you see right here, and you guys can actually follow along what I'm actually pressing or clicking in this time. So you're not, I don't do anything else but the actual rotation. Here we go. So step 1 right over here, and here's the slices. Just like so, and here's the second slice. And I should have probably used the Adrenal a little earlier, but again, it is what it is. You can only really use 1 in a 2 million fight because it's going to go down pretty fast. So again, here is part 3, going back to part 1 right away. And then I do move a little back, and it's just something that I've been doing forever on all my melee classes. Whenever I gap close, just so because, in PvP, sometimes it goes the wrong way, I move just 1 step backwards. That's just like a thing that I do. You don't have to do it, but if you're wondering what I was doing, that's what it was. Anyway, back to step 1. Here we go. Here we go. Here's that Zealous Sleep. And I believe we are below 30%. So we're going to start incorporating that Dispatch. And here's how that works. So here is 1 move, 2 move, skip Repose, Dispatch. Go back to 1. So see you guys how I did that? Just like that. And again, this should actually be over here in 1 second. Yeah, there we go. 32K. And again, super easy, super peasy. If you guys just follow this rotation, you won't have any issues doing any of the mechanics, I should say, in the fight. All right, and that was the full rotation. I hope that was easy to follow, guys, and just let me know again in the comments if you have any questions or anything else that I do, or if you need any help, let me know. Otherwise, thank you very much. Don't forget to check out Mando, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care, everybody.